All right, getting the facts now in the race for president, all part of WMUR's partnership with PolitiFact. If you think about it, just 11 days to go at this point before Election Day. Joining us once again is Lou Jacobson with PolitiFact. Lou, great to see you as always. We want to jump into the topic of immigration, which really has been one of the biggest in this race. We know former President Trump is in Texas talking about it today. Kamala Harris has been talking about it this week as well. In fact, during her recent town hall with CNN, Vice President Harris made this claim, saying, quote, "As of today, we have cut the flow of immigration by over half." What did PolitiFact find about this claim?
So this may be a bit of a surprise. You can't tell from a lot of the political rhetoric floating around, but the claim she made actually is correct. So depending on when you start counting, the drop is actually quite a bit more than half. We looked at the number of times the Border Patrol came across migrants between ports of entry at the southwestern land border. And if you compare today's number to September 2023, it's down by 75%. Compared to December 2023, the number is down by 78%. If you compare it to January 2024, it's down by about 57%. Now, we've heard from experts that it's hard to point to a single cause for this decline, but the policies under President Joe Biden are generally given at least some of the credit, including a Biden executive order that made it more difficult to seek asylum at the border. So we gave the statement a full true.
And then let's turn to a claim made in a campaign ad by former President Trump, Lou. The ad claimed that Harris, quote, wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals, referring to illegal immigrants. So what did PolitiFact find about this claim?
So this is wrong. The Trump campaign told us when we looked into this that Trump was talking about her support for getting rid of the cap on payroll taxes, which is the taxation that funds Social Security directly. Today, under current law, wealthier taxpayers get a break on payroll taxes because they don't have to pay any taxes after the first $168,000 they earn from their job. So what Kamala Harris wants to do is to get rid of that cap at $168,000 and start taxing above that. But although the ad says that she wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, it's actually wrong in two ways. First, the people who would pay more under Harris's proposal are workers, not seniors, certainly not retirees. And second, they would not be struggling. If you earn $168,000 from your job, that's almost 3 times what a typical worker makes. As for the second part of the claim, she said nothing during the campaign about giving Social Security and Medicare to people who don't have legal status here. So all things considered, we gave this statement a rating of false.
All right, a busy 11 days ahead for us. Lou Jacobson, we expect to see a lot right here on WMUR. Thanks for joining us today.
Sounds good. Thanks.